Okay, now we got them all, man. We got the major 7, dominant 7, and minor 7. All the voicings coming from the one shape that we chose. You know, if we had chosen a different shape, then we would have a whole different vocabulary here to work with. But what we're going to do is we're going to take those shapes that we learn, and we're going to try to play through a jazz tune, just because there's a lot of chords in a jazz tune. You can do these chords with any genre. And we're going to try to stay in one position, and that's the trick. Staying in one position is what's going to make us like use all of the voicings. So let's try it with Autumn Leaves, just because that's pretty basic. Oh, you know what? Let's not do Autumn Leaves first anyway, because it has a minor 7 flat 5 chord, which is not a problem, but we've learned enough things for one time. Now we have to like try to like utilize those things. Let's do All the Things You Are. So our first one, we can start anywhere. Let's go ahead and do, let's try doing F minor 7 in the like pretty normal way up on the A string. We'll do our original old school voicing. Whoops. Cool. All right. So, if that's the F minor, what's like a really good, like as in close by voicing that we can use for that B flat minor 7? And it's got to be one of the ones that we went through today. Like this one would be the one I would say. Right? That one. So it's the 8th fret, 8th fret, 6th fret, and 9th fret. Right? That's the third inversion one that we learned. All right. And what we're doing is we're doing this. We're avoiding doing stuff like, and then, you know, just going back to the old stuff that we've known for a long time. And we're also avoiding doing stuff like if I did F minor here to B flat minor to E flat 7 to A flat major 7. You know, we're trying to keep it one position. So now we have this. Cool, and it's nice voice leading. Next we have E flat 7. Well, E flat 7 should be maybe kind of obvious. We do the regular old school one. Cool. And now we have A flat major 7, so maybe that makes the most sense. Second version again, but this time it's not second version of a minor 7 chord, second inversion of a major 7 chord. So that'll be 6, 6, 5, 8. Next we have D flat major 7, so maybe just do our vanilla old school D flat major 7. Root position. Yeah. Now we have G7, so we can do the second inversion as the dominant. So it's starting from the 5th. That's going to be the 5th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret, and 6th fret. Cool? Yeah, it's the one where I use my middle finger on those 5th frets, rather. 5th frets. Yeah. And then the 4th fret, and then the 6th. Okay, and then the next one we have is a C major 7, so we can do our vanilla C major 7. Right, because that's very close by. So now, that whole progression went like this. Alright. F minor 7. B flat minor 7. E flat 7. A flat major 7, D flat major 7, G7, and C major 7. Cool? So now let's start from a different shape and do the same chords and see where it takes us. So like, let's say with the F major 7, what if, or sorry, F minor 7 first chord, what if we did the 7th inversion first? So instead of doing this, we'd go to the 7th, a 7th inversion, 3rd inversion. So we start from the 7th, right? So that'd be the 6th fret, and that's this shape. Yeah, it's actually the very last one that we figured out. Yeah, I would not do that. So here's 2 ways I'd recommend doing it. One is where you use your middle finger on both the A and D string, right? And then you have your index finger on, yeah, so then your ring finger's on the B string, index finger's on the G string. Well, the other alternative would be middle finger on that same thing with middle finger, except ring finger underneath it. I would not put the ring finger above the middle finger. Yeah. Kind of the idea is that if a string is above, if the note is on a string above another, you want to use the leftmost finger for it. The leftmost available. Because that way, like ring finger, for example, people might have a tendency of like muffling it with the ring finger. But if you have the middle finger above, it couldn't even do it if you tried. So it keeps it clean, you know. Okay, so if that's our first voicing, then what would be a good choice for the B flat minor 7 now? Oh yeah, but we're trying to not use old vocab. Sure. There may be a better choice depending on how tight you want your voice leading. So like this, for example, like some of these were really cool, right? Because like this one stayed in place. This one went up a fret. This one stayed in place. So it seems like really good voice leading, right? But the low note jumped down a 4th. Or a 5th rather, right? So that's huge. Like a 5th is a big leap, and it's okay. It's not really bad. But if we were trying to be even, more confined, then this might be the one that we'd want, which is one of our new ones, right? And by confined, I mean like sort of the opposite. I mean like just short steps, make it easiest for one note to get to the next. So this is going to be middle finger on the 4th fret, and then ring finger on the 6th, index finger on the 3rd, and pinky on the 6th. All the inner 4 strings as usual. Yeah. So the biggest distance on this one is this goes down a whole step, this goes down a whole step. Those stay in place. So a whole step was the biggest distance. As where before, a 5th was the biggest. When you did this one, I mean. So it's kind of nicer that way. All right. So we had F minor 7, B flat minor 7, and now we have E flat 7. So we can leave our middle finger where it is and do this shape. So that's going to be 4th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. It's the third inversion of the dominant shape. Okay, and now we have the A flat major 7, so this would be the choice probably. Right, that's our first inversion of the A flat major 7. So this is the one where it's like I'm seeing my root here, and I start on the 3rd, and I have a major 7, and so forth. Cool. Now next we have a D flat major 7. You could go up to your normal one, but then you have a leap of a major third, which is okay. Thirds are cool. But if I go down, that's the third inversion of the major 7 chord. So it's like this shape, but third inversion. And then the biggest leap I have from that shape, from the previous one, what was the one before that? Oh yeah, A flat major 7. Then the biggest leap would be, I think, just a whole step, a second. This goes down to there. This stays in place. This goes down a half step, and this one goes down a whole step. Yeah, so like a second, a whole step would be the biggest distance. So that'd be kind of nicer in that way. So that'd be 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret, 2nd fret. Cool. And then G7. So G7, if we can do the first inversion, and that would be like that, which at this point it has an open string. So that would be 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open G string, and 3rd fret B string. Right? That's our shape that looked like this before, or it was dominant. So it looked like this of a C chord. And now we're just doing it low enough to where we have an open string. Cool. And then you have the major 7, and actually here, the closest would be this, the third inversion. That'd be the closest. But because the low note is not the root, they might want something a little more resolved. But all the same, that would be the closest. And if you had a bass player, you would play it. So the bassist would provide that root, probably. And then it would sound really cool, and it wouldn't sound as like, is that my 1? Because obviously it's not. Yeah. So, but that, again, so maybe without a bassist, maybe you want to go up to this one or something, just to try to get more resolved. The chord you had before, it was this one, the G7. So I would say maybe instead of this, which is perfectly fine, this note went up a major third, up a third. That may be necessary, but you could try to minimize how much moves. Like you could do a 9 chord, and that way this note doesn't change, and it's not as resolved, but it's also a little more interesting, maybe. You know. But anyway, so I'll walk through what we just did here. F minor 7, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat major 7, D flat major 7, G7, and then I'll just go regular, resolved to the C major 7. Cool?